Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck.
Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Their competitors, they'll want to put the O on.
Three, got it.
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound. Tap it in. 1 point more to go.
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field, back toward the wall. Gone!
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins!
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
We have a 4 wide receiver set in the studio with a quarterback and a tight end today. Ryan Milano's directing. I think he's the quarterback. Jerry's the wide receiver who used to be a track star, so you're going to be the outside guy going up the field.
Yep.
I probably should have called the actual quarterback who played Division I football the quarterback.
That's true.
Some people wouldn't claim that I ever was a quarterback. So,
But the analogy.
I always wanted to be a nose guard, though.
Oh, really?
I did. Oh gosh, I just.
What?
Yeah, in the first alumni game, which happened to be the last alumni game, I got to play nose tackle.
Why was it the last alumni game?
Because
you got to play nose
too
tackle?
many guys were getting hurt, and they decided to start calling them off. Too many old guys.
All right.
Like I am now.
Well,
that
this
was
is a
so
fun
much fun.
story.
Yeah, that was so fun.
The analogy was, though, that the director's like the quarterback. Scott's running audio, so he's like the tight end. He bails out the quarterback, and then 4 wide receivers are running down the field. So we're a man shy of being able to play 7-man football. We just need a center. So Mitchell Lee back in the OSN studio on the radio side, he's the center. He hikes us the ball. He keeps us on time. Good analogy, I thought. But
Seven
then
good football.
as soon as I started saying it, I was like, damn, Georgie actually played quarterback. I'm not gonna be able to cover this one up. Anyway, I'm Joey Mack, Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen, Jordan Brenner's here. Scott Phillips does not have to impersonate one of us today, which is bad for everybody. It would have been nice to see that. Ryan here as well. We're gonna make some picks. We're gonna talk Oregon and Utah.
When you told me that if I couldn't make it in, he was going to be me, I talked to the hospital and they let me out early. I was not going to let him do it.
Yeah.
I should still be in the hospital right now, but in fact, I can't see anybody. Is anybody here?
You know, it would have been so fitting.
We talked about it.
So next week we have to do picks on Wednesday, right? Because there's not going to be a show Thursday and Friday because we've got the holidays and we've got basketball tournaments going on Friday. So we're going to have to make picks on Wednesday. I was already anticipating someone wasn't going to be able to make it. And so I thought, well, if you couldn't make it this week and Scott had to play you, I was just going to boot Brenner out next week so that Scott could play everybody at least once. It could happen.
It could.
It could happen. But, yeah, Wednesday. We got to make picks on Wednesday, which will be a turnaround, which we'll talk about picks, Sylvan Ridge Winery picks coming up. But, guys, look, Oregon, Utah, the goals are still in front of the Ducks, and the goals being a Pac-12 championship, perhaps a Rose Bowl berth, and against number 10 Utah, 8-2, 6-1 in the Pac-12, number 12 Oregon, 8-2, 6-1 in the Pac-12. I've been saying this all week. I think if you look over the last 5 years, these are the 2 best teams in the Pac-12, and I don't think there's a debate in that, and so this is going to be a really good game.
No, I agree with you. I talked to the guys in Salt Lake City this week about that, and I'm sure you told them the same thing when they talked about the strength of the Pac-12, maybe better this year than it's been in a while. And I said, hey, there are a couple of reasons for that. Obviously, the transfer portal is a reason, but I think the insertion of new coaches and new blood into the Pac-12 has really lifted the Pac-12 up. But you go back quite a few years, and Oregon and Utah really have been fairly dominant, and the teams needed to get by if they wanted to get to a Pac-12 championship. Huh?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's been fun seeing the matchups, too.
Yes.
I mean, the matchups have been great, and in the way that these two teams play, the way that they go at each other. It seems like one is trying to beat the other because of the defending champs. And it's going to be that way again this year, but it's the opposite way for Oregon, trying to knock off the defending champs in the Utah Utes. And, Jordan, I tell you, Utah really played some good football now and getting healthy on both sides of the ball at the right time.
Getting better throughout the season. And what's interesting, I'm no historian on this, but these aren't really historic rivals. And still yet, the fact that they've played each other in such big spots where one team has a lot on the line, it's kind of turned into that the last few years. And I'm excited to see how that comes to a head at Autzen Stadium. It feels like it's been a while since Utah has played at Autzen Stadium.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Aren't rivalries really built when both teams are good?
Yes.
And you'd knock each other out of a potential big bowl situation?
Oregon and Arizona men's basketball.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
go.
that was a great example. You know, I think that became a rivalry. Early 2000s, Oregon, Stanford, it became a rivalry because the two teams were so good. I think this is the example of that over the last few years, and a few reasons why. The Ducks have played good football. Utah's played good football. And Kyle Whittingham, guys, I think deserves a lot of credit for what he's done at Utah. They've been consistent. It seems like every time you say, boy, it could be a down year, maybe they only win 6-7 games, Kyle Whittingham and the Utes win 9. But the criticism, I think, until the last few years was, hey, they could be a 12-win team. Well, they win 9. Last couple years, though, they've kind of turned that around. I think this is a good program and a team, Jorgie, that does it with kind of a similar identity year in, year out.
Yeah, they do. They do. I mean, offensively, always good, but defensively it is where their strength is. And they've struggled a couple times this year with USC and UCLA. Put a lot of points on this Utah team, but they slowly but surely are getting better. And it just feels like the identity and the character of this team matches their head coach. That tough mentality, rugged type of play that they play with, and it shows in their stats. It shows with the way that they've improved as the season's gone on. Probably the best complete team in the league right now.
Yeah, you know, Jerry, I thought it was really interesting looking at some of the numbers and just how Utah attacks and how the Ducks attack. There are some strengths on strengths, but I think that because of the way Oregon has played, particularly defensively, there's still some potential there to be realized how to slow down this Utah team.
Well, I think part of the way you slow down this Utah team is you keep control of the football. Don't let their offense on the field, because their offense is pretty good with the quarterback. Yeah. And I think Oregon can run the ball against Utah and eat that clock and go on some long drives. So that's one way to take away one of the strengths of Utah. But I agree with Jorgie. When I think of Utah, I think of toughness. I think of maybe one of the physically toughest teams year in and year out in the Pac-12. And fan bases. Their fan base is just like Oregon's fan base. They're crazy.
Trenches are really going to matter in a game like this. They always do.
That's what I wanted to go to next. It feels like Oregon's defense this year, when they've been at their best, they're stopping the run. That's what Utah starts with. Before they can get their tight ends involved, before they can get rising running, they have to run the ball up the gut. So look for Oregon's defense to maybe have a standout game, for Oregon's defense to be the side of the ball that, you know, puts it on their shoulders and takes that responsibility. I think that'd be a lot of fun to watch this weekend.
7:30 evening game, a 5:30 pregame show. So I asked Coach Lanning this on the Coach's Show on Wednesday. Maybe you know where I'm going, but he had maybe the quote of the year talking about playing in early games and does it matter. Do you have a suggestion for a great quote for an evening game, like a 7:30 kickoff?
Yeah, don't drink too much. You know, it's a long day. You start tailgating, you start partying, and don't drink too much.
That's a great quote right there.
Don't do it.
There's too much of an opportunity.
There's no reason you want to go to a 7:30 game already hungover. That just doesn't work.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
That's the.
Well, what did he say for a morning game or a noon game?
For a noon game, he said eggs, breakfast, and go whoop ass.
Keep whoop ass, yeah.
For this game, he said, I don't know, just roll the ball out.
Just roll the ball out
and let's go play some football, which is the truth, right?
No,
I mean,
they
fans,
don't care.
we know
they don't care.
That coming in late for out-of-town crowds can be tough, but the Ducks have been very fortunate this year because they've been so successful to not have a ton of those 7:30 kickoffs. And so here on Senior Day, get in your seats a little bit early, because this is a senior class, Jorgie, that's been through an awful lot.
Oh, man. Oof. I mean, think about that. Some of them here since 2016 or 17, and having gone through the good, but the bad too. Not just the good as in a Rose Bowl and other, very good winning seasons with top-notch type of players, but also COVID, and almost what felt like a 2-year season of COVID with the way the fans came back, didn't come back, shortened seasons, everything else that went with it. But great group of seniors, and some of those seniors that may get honored, we may see back again next year.
That's
There's
right.
always that chance.
There's such a fluidity to college football rosters right now that we don't know exactly. Everyone's been asking me this week, like, well, what do you think? And it's like, I don't know. I don't think a lot of the student athletes know if they're coming back for sure yet.
No, and I thought that Coach Lanning had a great quote about this. If they're coming back, great. We'd love to have you. We'll still honor you. We'll honor you twice, 3 times, whatever. But I wanted to circle back to one thing. In a way, this is the perfect week to have a late kickoff with the heavyweight matchup on Sunday at Matthew Knight Arena.
That's right.
It's the perfect day to stay in Eugene for one extra day.
That's right. That's a great point, especially volleyball tonight. It's the Be United match. More on the Oregon Volleyball social media. 7 o'clock against UCLA. Ducks in a big one against the Bruins. Oregon had a key injury when the volleyball team was on the road taking on the LA schools about a month ago. Dropped those 2 matches, chance to get them back here on a Friday night, 7 o'clock against UCLA. And then you mentioned Houston. I was just looking at the numbers actually this morning. I did my notes for the Houston game, and Coach Altman talked to the media this morning. That's coming up on the show in just a little while. 6:30, that's a top 5 team, and they are, trust me, they are a top 5 team.
Yeah.
I mean, they are really, really good. And the Ducks saw them a few years ago in Houston. The Oregon actually opened Houston's brand new arena.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I don't have good memories of that new arena.
It's almost like there are going to be 2 football games this weekend with how physical Houston is. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Makes it a fun weekend. So let's get a break. We're going to come back and talk more about Oregon and Utah, and then talk about the weekend that's coming. Our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks on the horizon. It's a 2-horse race, folks. And
it could change this weekend.
And it ain't between me and Jordan.
It could change.
Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
See.
Hey, Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, it's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack, Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen, Jordan Brenner. Your Sylvan Ridge Winery picks for the week. It is a 2-horse race. You guys can say whatever you want. It's a 2-horse race. Jerry and Jorgie, the old timers.
Did I have
showing the wisdom?
Did I have another perfect week?
No.
Oh, I didn't.
No, nobody had a perfect week. We all sucked on UCLA.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes. So forget about the Bruins game. Yeah, last week everybody went 4-1. Really, really boring a week ago. But I still am regretful of my Stanford-Washington State pick from a couple weeks ago. That was the chance. Didn't
Actually,
work out.
if you go back through the season, you could be regretful about a lot of your picks that didn't work out.
Particularly, Jordan regrets any pick that involved Cal.
Cal.
Right. I figured it out, actually.
Do they play this week?
You have one win.
I got to pick
but you're taking them this week, right?
You have one win, one correct pick involving Cal this year.
Ooh.
That's historic.
They have been your downfall.
Yeah.
That $1 million you were
downfall.
going to donate to the school is not going to count.
At least I can show my face to my Cal grad father, but
That's right.
That's the only bright spot.
Well, Stanford, I've only picked correctly twice this year. So Stanford's been my downfall. So to the Bay Area schools.
Don't say it. Be careful. You'll get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Sylvan Ridge Winery picks.
By the way, our game's at 7:30. Which means it's 10:30 on the East Coast, which is a good thing. Somebody said, I have my favorite television shows I want to watch. So my shows are over. Then I can watch football. I get the best of both worlds, my TV programs and an Oregon
football. So are the TV programs all the other football games on that Saturday?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to know where the picks stand, I think. But there are some tough games to pick this week. 11 a.m., Pac-12 Network, Washington State, 6-4, 3-4 in conference action. Arizona is 4-6 and 2-5 in conference action. Let's see. Georgie has to pick first.
I do?
You do?
I thought I didn't have – did I tie somebody for last week?
Yeah, and you're
so
still in first place.
Okay.
Sucks to be in
I thought
first
it's what you
place,
did
man.
the week before, not what you are overall.
It is, but if there's a tie the week before, then where your overall standing is who picks first.
Okay.
How many times do I have to explain these
But
rules?
I have
every week.
I have 2 defers because I didn't take my defer last week, right?
You don't add them up. You cannot add them up.
Oh, I thought we could carry them over if you didn't use them. I
That
thought we
is-
voted
that is-
yes on
no,
that.
that is objectively untrue.
Patent.
I'm with you, Georgie. I think you should be able to roll them over.
Hey,
No!
Not voting on this.
You're
We're
down
not
by
voting.
10 picks. Don't even – no, flag on the play. Come on. Flag on the play. Don't hit the computer monitor. Oh, also
did you hear what he had to say?
Wait, did you come through with what we discussed yesterday? Oh, no. I didn't find any. Scott Phillips is fired.
What was he looking for?
We were going to get you an oversized coin for flipping.
To catch?
So that
You and I can flip it together. You hold one
he
side
dented my computer 2 weeks ago.
I didn't.
You did. There's a dent right there.
You didn't hear what Milano even said to you.
No,
I
I can
didn't.
tell
I
next
couldn't hear
year.
what he
I
said.
didn't defer last week, so I didn't have a deferral anyway.
No, you did defer last week.
Oh, I did defer. I mean, I
You
did
did
defer
defer.
last week, so I
Thank
didn't
you,
have a
Ryan.
carryover.
Thank you.
I didn't have a carryover is what I meant.
You're the quarterback.
That's
he's
right.
Not. That's right.
That's right.
Okay, can we make some picks?
Sure.
Sylvan Ridge Winery picks.
Okay.
11 a.m. Pac-12 Network. I promise we haven't had the wine yet today. Washington State, Arizona. So Georgie picks first, then Jerry, then me, then Jordan. Fortunately, then the coin. You don't have to pick after the coin this week.
That makes it better for everybody.
It does make it better for everybody.
Has Arizona? The question is, has Arizona found themselves?
I don't know, Georgie.
I mean,
have
they've been good, and then they've been bad. I mean, Utah blasted them. Oregon blasted them in Tucson. Cal blasted them of all teams. And yet they
Jordan saw that one coming.
and yet they give Washington fits. It's 42-37 with 6 minutes left in the game in Seattle.
Yeah.
They beat UCLA last week. Now they're back home. Is that a bad thing?
Uh-huh.
So what am I going to do? Is that what you want to know?
Yeah, I just – all that's great. Who are you picking? So
I
can
just
write
think
it
the
on
Cougs
spreadsheet?
are the better team overall, better defense.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Cougs. I think the Cougs put 28 up in the first half last week. They didn't score in the second half,
Wow.
which kind of bugs me. But I just think defensively they'll get after Delora. They'll get to Delora. They see that offense in practice every day.
Yeah, that's true.
So Washington State.
Okay. Jerry?
Well, the gap could close.
I know.
And
Yeah.
he's going to take Washington
I
State.
agree.
No, Arizona's at home, and I mean this is almost
It didn't
a
matter
pick'em
that
game.
Arizona
anyway.
was at home when we were there.
No, it didn't. It's almost a pick'em game. I just think that both teams are capable of winning. If this was at Washington State, I'd pick them in a heartbeat. But I think Arizona did find a little something. They got some confidence. Things worked, and I think they at home pull it off.
If anyone knows,
It's a good pick, I think.
If
It's not a
anybody
bad
knows
pick.
how to slow down Delora, you got to think that it's Washington State's defenders.
You would think.
If
but
anyone knows how to exploit a defense that he practiced against all of last year,
it would be
Delora.
Delora.
I'm taking Arizona.
Yes.
I think it's a good pick. I don't think that's a bad pick.
That's
I was,
great.
I was
It's-
50-50.
That's great. I don't care, Jordan.
When can I switch?
You can't.
Okay.
I think the way to get to Arizona is to run on them, and I don't like the Cougars' run game. So I'm going to buy that Arizona goes to the Rose Bowl I think Jaden Delore is probably the better passer.
Yeah.
I think that matters. Better weapons, Arizona. I'll take the home team.
Okay.
Wow. That makes me feel really dumb in my pick.
Go ahead, flip the coin.
Okay. Whoa.
Now you see why
Joe,
I
just
moved
put it on
out
the
of the
table.
frame.
I'm going to flip it to you.
No. Just flip it. Just let it fall.
Heads.
Home team.
You guys make me nervous. Jeez.
You make us nervous.
You got that slippery coat on today. That's the problem. So I just put it on your
lost
hand.
the coin.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I'll be back in a while.
Grab that flag while it's behind your chair, too, so you can throw that at.
Oh, you know what else is down here?
Candy. And a Phil Knight bobblehead, actually.
Okay. It's broken, though. My coin hit it.
So we have endeavored to make one pick after all this. After all that. And we've made one pick so far.
11:15 a.m. Really odd kickoff time. 11:15 a.m. on ESPN2. Number 23 Oregon State, 7-3, 4-3 in conference. Visits Arizona State, 3-7, 2-5. Jordan?
Another dangerous pick here. I mean,
that's not.
You're right. I'm taking Oregon State. I think they're the better team. So, but I think that Arizona State will give them trouble, just like they did Washington. I do. I just do. Oregon
And
State's
if they
got
lose,
I'll never pick them again. I'll never pick them again. I'll never pick them again. I mean, Oregon State's beat up on defense. That's the thing about it. So,
they are.
Jerry?
Even though Oregon State's beat up on defense, their defense is still pretty good. And I'm going to go with the Beavers. I think their offense finds enough ways to score. They can run the ball. And their defense, even though it is kind of banged up, is still pretty deep. And I'm going to go Beavs.
Are the Beavs looking ahead to a home game against the Ducks?
That's what I was going to say.
They have too much riding on this game.
There's a lot riding on this
they can't just. It's not like their season's over. Bring in Oregon. No, this week is important.
I think Oregon State wins because I don't think that they look past because this is a little bit wild right now. If Oregon State wins this game and if they win next game, they would pass the Ducks in the conference standings. They know that. Beavers aren't going to overlook ASU. I think the Beavs win.
I think Arizona State wins.
Okay.
Maybe this is my perception of the fan base as opposed to what's going inside the Beaver program, but I've heard a lot of Beavers celebrating what happened at Autzen Stadium last week like it was their team who won the football game. I'm going to pick Arizona State at home. I think they're thinking a little bit too much about what's going on in Eugene, not enough about what's going on in Corvallis.
Do you read the comments on Duck Insider on the live streams on a Friday?
I haven't, no.
You have a reputation of really disliking Oregon's rivals. Spoken like a real Oregon graduate. Well done.
I don't think that's a bad
No, it's not. I'm complimenting you.
Proud of that reputation.
First year doing picks, and everybody in the comments is like, God, Brenner really hates the Beavers and the Huskies in his picks. And
speaking for a segment of the fan base that isn't always represented on this show.
That's right.
No, I think that fan base is very well
I thought
represented.
I thought the rat poison comment represented it pretty well.
Pretty great. Yeah, that was great. Okay, the coin.
Okay, look it.
That would have hit the computer.
No, it did not
If he
hit
dropped
the
it, it
computer.
would have.
And he
It's
would
a
have dropped
head.
it.
It's a head.
It's
no,
a head?
would not have hit.
Heads is the home
Arizona
team.
State. Jeez.
Okay.
The coin's going to start gaining on me.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Okay, next game on the docket. 2:30 on Pac-12 Network. It's the big game. 2, 3, and 7 teams in the big game. 1-7 Stanford in conference. 1-6 Cal. So something's got to give with you and me here.
Can we modify this to the game this year instead of the big game?
The big game. Yeah,
or is that the Ohio State-Michigan game?
It's just. How about just a game?
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah,
better.
how about we just pick
And how about we let him pick first because it doesn't make any difference.
All in favor? You can defer if you
know
want.
who I'm picking, though.
You can defer if you want to.
No. I got a lot of belief in Justin Wilcox and the boys this week. Yeah.
Me too. Put me down for Cal.
Wow.
Oh, well, I'll go along with that. I'm a Cal guy this week.
Wow.
Yeah, it's at Cal.
There's another chance for you, Joey, right there.
Yeah.
Take your favorite team in the league.
They just made their change on the offensive staff. Well, just because Jordan's record of picking Cal is so atrocious, I'm going to take Stanford. Stanford on the road. Honestly, I'm
on
only
the road.
Honestly, I'm
20 miles away.
Honestly, I'm
walking
only doing this so that maybe I can make up ground in a game that odds makers think, by the way, is like a 5-point spread. So
you think they're taking a hayride like Idaho did to the Washington State game?
They could, or they could actually they could jump in a boat and go across the bay.
Okay, I'm going to leave the computer here if you'll flip.
Okay, well, I'll flip it
turn.
over here. I'll
Don't
turn.
hit the monitor.
What? You?
That's a little far out.
Tails.
It is.
Stanford.
Just
Good
start
pick.
using
This is
the
really
mist.
slippery. Yeah.
Good pick,
that's
Coin. Good pick. Okay, we're going to get a timeout. Sylvan Ridge Winery
need
picks. Boy. Battle of L.A. And then a game that, man, if it's close, something's terribly wrong with the Pac-12.
Yep.
Timeout in the Country Financial Studio.
Wow.
It's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks continue. I don't know if there's wine in the studio.
I wish there was right now.
That's right.
We're going to find out after
Not
this on the
enough.
Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perish in the line of duty, college scholarships for the children of law enforcement, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on the USDSA and how you can help, visit usdeputy.org.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It's a Friday on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks with Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen, Jordan Brenner. The Battle of Los Angeles. I'd like to motion we pick this last.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Colorado, Washington. I'm going to take Washington, guys.
It doesn't
You
even
didn't even
make
give me
any
a chance to
difference.
defer on that one?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
You want to
Just
defer?
get it out of the way. This is
No, I'll just take Washington.
Washington. Yeah.
Where's this game being played?
Colorado.
Give me the Buffs.
It's played at Washington.
It's at Washington.
Oh, okay, give me the.
Like that was really going to make a difference.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
It's a 30
If I'm
point
really
spread.
known for disliking Oregon's rivals, that's
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Okay.
That's true.
That's true.
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah. You want to take the Buffs?
No, Seattle.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Okay.
It's a long trip, cold.
Yeah. Okay. Coin? Thank the glove.
There we
the
go.
baseball glove.
Okay.
There we go.
This is great. Well done.
Heads.
Well done. That
heads.
was
Hey, I got to be honest.
that was next level.
Jorgie's idea.
Give me a mitt bump, would you?
That-
Okay, here we go. Finally.
That was next level.
That was great.
I was afraid I
coin
was going to
flipping.
drop it in the glove.
Oh, that game, by the way, is at 6 o'clock on Pac-12 Network. Okay, USC number 7 in the CFP rankings, 9-1 overall, 7-1 in Pac-12 play. The 5 o'clock game on Fox is at the Rose Bowl. Number 16 UCLA, 8-2, 5-2 in conference action. But guys, were they looking ahead last week? Maybe they were. USC is a 2.5-point favorite on the road in Pasadena,
wow.
Georgie.
Well, being that I cannot carry over my deferrals from week to week, I will go ahead and just use it right now. I'd rather not, but so go ahead.
You'd rather pick first? You can if you want.
Yeah, but the rule is I can't carry over deferrals, and so
he doesn't
But
lose.
there's no rule that says you have to use your deferral either.
You could, just be bold.
I'm trying to get
no,
him to
I
give
think
me,
strategically the right thing to do
is
to defer.
I think the past defenses of these two teams are somewhat the same. USC's maybe a little worse, and I think UCLA can run the ball a little better than USC. And it's at the Rose Bowl, which is going to be surprisingly sold out. They have listed it as a sellout.
What's a sellout?
Well, what they do is they take about 6 of the sections and they cover them so you can't sell the tickets. So
and then jack the tickets up.
They've sold what they have available so they can jack the ticket prices.
Is that actually what happened?
That is actually
I haven't followed it at all.
That's what they're doing. I'm going to go UCLA. I think their offense, even though USC's offense may be a little bit better, I think that running the ball is going to cause USC some issues. So I'm going to pick UCLA. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a last possession game. Ooh, I'm nervous about that pick. UCLA.
Yeah. I just think you covered that thoroughly right there. About everything I would say.
I'm going to defer. Jordan?
I don't think you have that power.
No. There's no deferral. No.
Can't pass the deferral.
All I wanted was an opportunity to pick up ground on both of you. And
well,
now
pick USC
and
then.
now the way that but if I do that and you pick USC, then I'm right where I was heading into this week, even after picking opposite of you guys.
He's going USC.
So maybe I should have taken Arizona State. That sucks.
You should have.
Yeah, probably should have.
You could say you would believe this is going to be a no contest and that they don't play the game. Oh, he's going to flip.
He's going to flip the coin to make a decision over his computer.
UCLA.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Wow.
You want the coin, buddy?
No, I have an opinion on this one. I think UCLA last week, nobody talks about it, but they were missing 2 of their dynamic speedsters offensively. So
are they back?
Well, they're going to be back this week. At least one of them is going to be back this week. Now, you lose guys like that, and then you get off to a sluggish start, down 14-0 against Arizona, and then they had to claw their way back the rest of the game. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Travis Dye's gone for the year. I think that's a significant loss for USC. Pass protection, going out for routes as a running back, Dye's dynamic. I think they're going to miss him, and I think UCLA wins this one. I think Charbonnet is going to be too much for them.
Yeah.
I like it.
All good points that you all make. However.
Oh, no.
There is no however. Joey knows that there's not going to be a however. You guys have made all the right comments there. I mean, I just think the balance of UCLA, the ability to throw it.
You're going to take UCLA?
Yes, I was going to take him originally.
No, I knew that.
Scotty Doe was going to take him a little bit earlier, and that was a good pick based on the pick that he made. So he talked me into it. Blame it on Scott. Okay?
I knew you were going to go UCLA.
I was going to go UCLA. DTR can run it. Charbonnet can run it. They can throw it. They are not happy at all about what they did last week against Arizona. They're going to be much better, much, much better this week. And as Jordan said, USC is going to have to rely on pass, and they'll be able to do it. There's going to be points in this game, but I think when it really comes down to it, UCLA is a more complete team. They win it at home. UCLA. Thank you, Scotty.
Joey's just having a terrible time today.
Steven told me to do this during our next coin flip, so.
Holy cow. What are you going to cover your computer with? This is getting out of hand. Okay, here we go. Oh, basket catch. Heads.
That mitt is plenty big, isn't it? Look at that.
It's a big helmet. Oh, my gosh.
It is. With no pads in it, it really is big.
Woo.
Look at that. Home team all the way around. Everybody takes them.
Can I make a motion?
That coin is smart. The coin picked it twice. Just think about that. The coin picked UCLA twice.
Yeah, I know. Man, all I can do is pick up one game on you guys, and I can't even pick up a game on Jerry. Can I change to USC and ASU?
Why?
I mean,
aren't
you
you the ones? Aren't you the guy who's the stickler for the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah. And this has been Jordan's last year on picks. No, he's right. I always have said that, like, hey, we should just go with, make the picks and do it. But it's now mathematic.
Not. No, you got a full slate of games the next week.
Yeah, next week could undo everything.
Yeah,
You'll
we'll
just
see.
have to pick
okay, so
opposite.
everybody, let's go. UCLA.
You'll just have to take Colorado over Utah next week, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. God, I really thought one of you would take USC. I really did.
Yeah.
You want me to change my pick? I'll change my pick.
No, I don't want you to do anything. UCLA is the pick for everybody. I'm taking Stanford. Everyone else taking Cal. Jordan's taking ASU. Everybody else taking Oregon State. And then Washington across the board. Let's see. Georgie's taking Washington State. Everybody else is taking Arizona. So it could be a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit
there's
interesting.
some possible movement.
Stanford could get a win, and Arizona could get a win, and, then I'm still out of it. It'd be great. It'd be great for everybody.
This week worked out well.
It did for you, didn't it?
Yeah.
You played this well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played
Worked out
this
well.
well. You've got a chance to get a 2-game lead if the Cougs win. We can't let him win.
Oh, come on. I hardly ever win.
Hey,
he's only won once.
That's what I mean.
But he paid off with a great dinner this year. I mean, we had
to you.
Yeah, not him.
Well,
who I've offered to 14 different times. But
didn't you give him a Chick-fil-A sandwich on the bus
Oh,
after a
that's
game?
right, yeah.
Okay, so he paid off.
Why would I? Why would I
gave
accept
you my
that?
extra one.
That's right. He's paid
Why
off.
would I accept that?
I know you ate it.
I can expense our meals on the road. Why? Why would I do that?
And don't tell me if we go out and you have soup. Soup is not a meal. Okay, don't tell me that.
No, that's legit. Soup is a meal.
Soup is a meal.
Yeah, soup's a meal.
Okay.
In 2014, Jerry won. 2015 and 2016, I won. 2017, Jerry won. 2018, Georgie's first time winning since I've been tracking picks. That's right. In 2019, I won. In 2020, we all tied. It was awful. And in 2021,
That's crazy.
Jerry won.
We all tied.
Yeah, we literally all tied. And actually, in 2020, guys, the coin was relatively decent. That just tells you what the year 2020 was like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've won 3 times. I've won 3 times. The tie has won once, and Georgie a chance here to make it 2.
Yeah.
2 in a row.
Hopefully.
And you get to pick first next week.
Long way to go.
Actually, he might not get to pick first next week.
Don't tell him that. I want him to believe it.
All right, sorry. Okay, my bad. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks, guys, always fun. Any final thoughts? Oregon, Utah, 7:30 kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, play a clean ball game. I just I look at the games that Oregon has struggled in or not done well in. It's because of mistakes, self-inflicted. Shoot yourself in the foot. So don't make those mistakes and play a clean ball game. I think if they could run the ball. I think I heard Georgie said it before. Run the ball. Keep the ball out of the hands of Cam Rising and Utah's offense. And I think Oregon has a great chance of coming on top of this game.
Yeah, this week in Oregon football history is going to be based on 2017.
Yeah.
And 2017 is what I see Oregon needs to be able to do, against this Utah team. I mean, they just need to be able to. And, obviously you want more yards through the air, but run is going to set up everything else, I think, for this game. And I think the team has the ability to do it, just like we've seen all season long. Run, pass, both being options and that type of deal. But to me, it's the early downs. It's the early downs offensively and defensively. Do not let Utah establish a running game, get in 3rd and short, extend drives, bleed the clock, and then don't get behind the chains, because Utah, a lot of tackles for loss, a lot of sacks. It's an uphill climb if you get behind the chains.
I think for me the biggest key is first down.
Yeah.
Just for exactly the reason you just said. You took the words out of my mouth. Jordan, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just think the tougher football team's going to win. I think it's going to be gritty. I think it's going to be physical. Both sides of the ball, you're going to have to be buttoned up. These are 2 well-coached teams. I think the team that hits harder, that holds onto the ball, that fights for 2 or 3 extra yards, that's the team that's going to come out victorious.
Be efficient.
This could be a team that blitzes more than anybody Oregon's seen. They gamble. They
That's
gamble
true.
a lot and come at you. So if Oregon can take advantage of some of those, recognize those blitzes, there's some possible big plays that could be made.
Good stuff.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to a physical game tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. Sylvan Ridge offers wine enthusiasts a diverse selection of wines representing the very best of the South Willamette Valley. When we come back, a little bit from Matt Ulmer, a little bit from Dana Altman, a big weekend for the Ducks in addition to Duck football on the Oregon Sports Network.
One last flip.
From Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, it's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. He's still Jerry Allen. I want to hear from Matt Ulmer, Oregon Volleyball head coach. 7 o'clock tonight. Where are you going? Play the Ulmer clip.
I think we're doing a lot of things well. I thought Colorado was excellent. I think we're getting some opponents' best shots, which I think is really important for us. I thought Washington State, 2 weeks ago at home was really good, and I thought Colorado was excellent at their place. And it was really encouraging, neat to see our group fight when we're down 19-9 in the fourth, and just kind of trusting the process, trusting in each other, going 1 point at a time, and be able to just make one of the coolest comebacks I've ever been a part of. I don't know. And you can just see our confidence grow, when you can do things like that. So, and then I don't know the last time we swept that road trip. So that was really encouraging. I thought we played well at Utah. And we've won 9 in a row in conference. I think that's the first time we've ever done that in Oregon history. And now we get to play 2 really good teams at home and just keep preparing ourselves to be good in the tournament.
So you don't want to be in that hole you're in Colorado. Sorry if I just follow up. What do you feel like lessons you learned from that you hope the group keeps in mind going
from
forward?
Colorado?
Yeah.
We're never out of it, which I think we've done that enough this year that we should know that. I'd like to not be in that position, but it's nice to know that you can always come back. And that you got to bring your best every time. I don't care whatever the circumstances are. Teams are trying to beat us. It's more about can we just be really consistent. Again, for the most part, I think this year we've been extremely consistent. So that was, again, just a good reminder.
Speaking of history, it kind of looked like when Hannah went down and you guys lost those 2 on the road that you didn't really know what way your season was going to turn. But now looking back and seeing how far you've come with and without Hannah, you're here, you're still in it. to really make history this season. What do you credit that? Like, what do you feel like the team really did well in order to be in this position?
I think our team culture is excellent. I think this group is mature, unbelievably driven and motivated, and that has nothing to do with me. That has to do with them, and I think it's really player-led. Our captains are amazing, Brooke, Georgia, Carson. Again, Hannah goes down, but Elise steps right up, and I thought she was great. And again, we had a chance to win all those matches that Elise was in. Elise did a great job for us, and again, just handled herself with such poise and competitive spirit. And so you never skip a beat. And again, if Morgan steps in, she's done a great job. Colby, whoever that is, whoever has gotten the opportunity, they've all just done their part. And I think again, that's a reflection of what it looks like in practice. It's a reflection of the standard that they all hold themselves to. And I think that's why again we've been pretty consistent this year because everybody's doing their part.
You guys have played at a consistently high level for years now, but is this like the most you felt like you have a target on your back?
I would say this group is the most driven, to really be a champion.
But from opponents, I mean, do you feel like
well, I think because of that, people want to beat you. Like if you're for real, it's like it's easy to get up for those big games. I mean, think about us against Stanford, right? I mean, that was a really big match for us, and I didn't have to give any raw motivational speech. Like they were in it. They were telling me to calm down. It's like that's, and I think that's if you get good, like everybody wants to play you, everybody wants to beat you. And again, that's why I'm really appreciative of when teams show up and they bring their best because, we don't want to lose in the tournament. So you want to go beat everybody at their best, and that just shows you that that you're capable. So again, I really appreciate that Washington State and Colorado were really good, and we could have lost, but we didn't. And I think that's important for us.
Ducks came back in those matches, and they might have to do that against UCLA and against USC this weekend, but it's a huge one tonight, 7 o'clock. If you're coming into town, go to volleyball tonight at Matthew Knight Arena. Meanwhile, back to football. We haven't heard yet from Casey Rogers this week. Very articulate young man, wants to be a broadcaster, wants to be a journalist when he's done playing. I think you'll hear that in his voice, talking about some of the keys to this matchup with Utah, 7:30 at Autzen on Saturday.
Warm weather today?
Yeah, it was. In the morning it gets a little chilly. It was kind of cool to see the frost on the turf for the first time this year, but the sun was half out, and the building was kind of making the shade, but once you got out in the sun, it was nice, and then we ended up inside somehow. So it was nice. It's nice to be outside during this time. A lot of the guys don't like the cold, or I don't know, they're not from the area where cold is a thing, and where I'm from, it's cold every day, 24/7. So it's kind of just home away from home when it's cold out.
Third down has been an issue for you guys all year, Casey, and I realize it's not on any one unit, it's a collective thing. What can you do, what can the interior of the D-line do to improve there?
Yeah, third down has been something we've been hitting on all year long. Unfortunately, we need to get to the quarterback. I think if you take care of the quarterback, I think all the other issues will kind of take care of themselves. And rush and coverage has to work together. It's been 2 games since we've really been to the quarterback. We've had any good quarterback hits. We've been putting pressure on them, but we just haven't been getting there. We got to finish the play, and that's something we're really emphasizing this week, as we should. And we're just keep focused on getting to the quarterback.
When an opposing offensive lineman calls you guys out like a couple of weeks ago, how much do you guys take that to heart? How much does that motivate you even further to make these corrections to put better results out there?
Yeah, we definitely noticed it. It was something that was in our minds. It's, if anything, when people do that, it's just it's more motivation. It's something we want to prove ourselves, and we do that. We try to do that every week. If we have a bad game, which we take a lot of pride in, stopping the run. And every week we try to keep them below 100. That's something that we take a lot of pride in. And so for them, if someone were to say something like that, it just adds fuel to the fire. And but we got to really stay focused on the main thing there, and can't look too deep into that.
You could hear the coach landing in him right there, right? Like, keep the main thing the main thing. That's a little bit of what he's alluding to there, talking about some of the keys in this matchup with the Utes. Our Pet of the Week this week is always brought to you by Dove Lewis, Oregon's only nonprofit 24/7 emergency animal hospital. This week, you'll see it on the video board at Autzen as well. Mulligan. Fabulous name. Has to be from a golf family, right? Loves the outdoors. Perfect day for Mulligan to be running on the beach. I dig it. Had to be from a golf family. Mulligan, our Dove Lewis Pet of the Week. Dove Lewis, Oregon's only 24/7 emergency animal hospital. Nonprofit, Dove Lewis. When we come back, Houston's in town for men's basketball on Sunday. Dane Altman talked to the media today. We have it for you after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Chris Jakimick, I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
We are back inside the Country Financial Studio. Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. The football game coming up, 7:30, kickoff against Utah, top 12 matchup between these two teams, and it's one of many things going on. We talked about volleyball tonight. Sunday night, 6:30 on ESPN, 6 o'clock pregame show on the Oregon Sports Network. Houston is in town. The Ducks looking for a big win. It would be considered an upset against Houston. Some updates from Dane Altman as he met with the media this morning.
What do you got today?
What do you see when you look at these guys? And obviously, you know, they're coached to be a pretty good three-point shooting team. It hasn't quite been there yet, but they're still a really balanced, high-octane offense.
Yeah, no, they're really good. You know, what are they, 2, 3 in the country? And that's where they should be. They're experienced. Their guards are experienced inside. You know, they got big bodies, athletic bodies. So, real difficult assignment. You know, great opportunity, but very tough team to match up with their depth and experience.
What do you think of their speed? A lot of coaches, after they played them, spoke just about how shocked they were, how fast they were.
Well, their length, their quickness, you know, they get so many hands on balls. You know, I spent yesterday watching them on film all day, and, you know, just how many deflections and how many hands on balls they get. You know, it's really impressive, you know, just their activity. And then they just keep throwing people at you. You know, they're deep. So, very athletic, very aggressive, very physical team. So, you know, our guys are going to have to really be prepared.
Small sample size, but you guys have been a little bit of a roller coaster. I mean, do you have a sense for kind of who you guys are, kind of what the character is?
No, not really. You know, it's still a work in progress. You know, we've tried to make a few adjustments, tried to, you know, figure out a lot more sets and that with some of our bigs, and, you know, trying to get them more comfortable guarding on the perimeter, which has not been easy to do. So, you know, I think we're making a little progress, slowly but surely. You know, I just got to, you know, we've got to figure out, you know, 40 minutes with, you know, 8 or 9 guys, whatever we got, you know, to you know, to really be active and really can compete on the boards. You know, they throw it up there. Heck, their best offense, you know, is throwing it up there and going and getting it, you know, and so rebounding will be critical in this game.
Beginning of the year, you talked about how you were curious of how this team would handle physicality and the intensity of games because you couldn't simulate it in practice because of injuries. 3 games in, you feel like you guys are making progress there, and just the challenge that will come on Sunday with that? Well, we're making progress, but you can tell that we're not making the progress we should be. You know, our practice yesterday, we just barely had 10 guys. You know, we just you can't get the reps that you need, you know, to make the progress you want to make. You know, and that's just where we're at. So, you know, we got to be smarter with our time. We got to be smarter with our reps. We're not going to get as many. You know, we're trying to do, you know, a lot of different combinations, which is hard to do, you know, when you're moving guys back and forth from offense to defense. But, you know, the guys have stayed with it. They're trying to work with us. It's just going a lot more slowly than we had anticipated.
How do you try to derail an offense that's operating just as efficiently from a shooting perspective as they are? And I realize some of it's big guys close to the basket and stuff, but it's like their top 5 scorers, I think, are shooting all north of 40%, a couple of guys over 50%.
Well, again, a lot of that's offensive rebound putbacks, which is right at the goal. And, you know, so, no, it puts a lot of pressure on your defense. You're going to have to limit them to one shot, try to make that shot contested. You know, but the big problem is going and getting it. You know, we've got to limit them as much as we can to one shot and keep those offensive rebounds down, you know, and that'll take a lot of pressure off our defense if we can do that.
Dane Altman, the Oregon basketball head coach, getting ready for that matchup on the horizon on Sunday. Houston, it's a big game. And look, that loss to UC Irvine, the Ducks had not shot the ball very well. First 2 games didn't shoot the ball very well. Then hit 44% from 3 against Montana State. Lost to UC Irvine, didn't shoot well at all. Didn't fight through that with any good defense and rebounding, really. Against Houston, all those things are going to have to come together. This is a really, really big-time matchup for the Ducks, and huge opportunity for fans. So if you're staying overnight for that late-night football game, stay for the evening for basketball on Sunday. Volleyball tonight, also on Sunday, in addition to basketball. 7:30 kickoff, 5:30 pregame show at Autzen Stadium on Saturday. This is a big one. Pac-12 championship, that's the goal. See you then.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.